What's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 167 of the podcast. I'm happy for you guys to be here tonight and watching this episode, as it's a very special episode. I have two guests here tonight that are dear friends of mine from the past, and also a mentor, a teacher to me as well. And I'm very happy to have them on, and so glad they said yes to doing this too. Let me introduce you to them. We got Mark Caravaglio. Thank you for being here, buddy.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
And his father, Sensei Mark. How are you, my man?
I'm doing well, Frank. How about yourself?
I am very good. I'm even
Awesome.
better now that we're starting this up and doing this thing. We talked about it a little over a month ago on the phone, and to talk about what we wanted to talk about and everything. And I'm just glad it's happening right now.
Absolutely.
So let's just start off with the line of questioning right off the bat here. I want to get into the martial arts aspect first, and then I would like to move on to the insurance and realty part of it afterwards. The theme that I would like to make this podcast sort of deal is realtor, insurance by day, kicking ass at karate by night sort of deal. Okay.
I love it.
So, but we're going to do it the opposite way. We're going to talk about the martial arts first. So my first question for you guys is, what type of martial arts do you both practice, train, and teach?
I'll leave it to my father to answer that one.
There you go.
All right, great. So our martial arts is a traditional Japanese karate and Japanese jiu-jitsu. The actual name is Goshindo Kempo, and a samurai jiu-jitsu. But over the years, we've incorporated other arts to it, so that it was more well-rounded.
Okay.
And a better program, if you will.
Sure.
For self-defense.
Yeah.
Which is the core of what the martial arts is self-defense. As far as the discipline and everything else that incorporates into your whole life, that martial arts provides that for you.
Without a doubt. Now, how did you formulate bringing in other forms of martial arts into your classroom? What made you decide to bring certain aspects of other practices into it?
The reason why I did it is I was always looking to learn more, explore more, find out more. So I trained in other aspects of the arts.
Very nice.
I didn't keep it just to the one area of where I was originally focused on.
Right. Okay.
So that incorporated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, training with UFC fighters, training with different styles, and incorporating everything together.
Very nice. Okay. Now, this is a question for both of you here. I would like to know how you started training at first, what got you into it, as well as basically your journey into black belt. How did it help you mentally, physically, and what are some important lessons that you might have learned along the way, too?
So, I started when I was 6 years old. I wanted to start it a little bit before that, but my father said that I was just way too young to start. And then I've been doing it. I'm 29 years old now, so I've been doing it consistently since then. I absolutely love it. It's really, been a huge passion of mine. And the martial arts, not only has it, shown me how to protect myself and, be able to fight, God forbid I'm in a situation, I know how to defend myself or people that I'm with, but it's also showed me leadership, showed me how to command a room, and I brought what I learned from the martial arts into my career and into my business and professional life, where you can't be mediocre, you have to be a leader and stand out, and the martial arts has really taught me that, and I'm forever grateful for that. Not only that, I have my father, who is a mentor and inspiration to me, and we have that bond that is a lot different, because when I was 6 years old, he would be the guy that I'd be like, you're annoying me, you're getting, I'm always getting in trouble. And now that I'm an adult, it's just a whole different camaraderie that we have, and it's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
That's well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Sensei Mark, I'd love to hear from you of how you first started getting into the martial arts.
Sure, I was at a concert.
Yeah.
And a fight broke out. I got hit in the head and was knocked out. Went into the martial arts and never stopped training.
That enough said right there. Yeah. I feel like most people that want to start training in the martial arts, any form of karate, I feel like there's usually some sort of experience that happened, you know, good or bad.
Correct.
You know, of why they wanted to start training. In my case, when I was training with you guys, my parents thought it was a very important factor for me to learn growing up to defend myself.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the big driving factors, actually, of people joining your class and many others as well.
Absolutely.
As far as the students joining your class, what would you say like your first impression to them is, or what you try to make your first impression to them is?
So, you know, we train to fight so we don't have to fight.
Mm.
You know, fighting is easy. Hurting somebody can be very easy. And that's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to protect ourselves, protect our family, protect our friends.
Yeah.
So that's the mentality that I've always had. After that concert, I never lost a fight.
Yeah.
That was it. I was never going to let that happen to me again.
Right.
And that gave me my focus, not only to protect myself, but then when I had a family, I wanted to protect my family.
Absolutely.
My wife and children and anybody that was around me. So that was the area of what it did. But again, training to fight so you don't have to fight, it also brings in so much discipline, so much respect, so much honor, and it can be transferred, as Mark indicated earlier, towards your career, towards relationships.
Yeah.
Whether it's girlfriend, boyfriend, whether it's family, whether it's relatives, it just incorporates everything into it. So for us, it's a way of life.
Yeah.
For me, it's a way of life, and I think it's only added for me. It was an addition for me.
Yeah.
And we try to present that to all of our students so that they can learn, they can grow.
Mm-hmm.
They can grow in their schoolwork, they can grow in their careers, they can grow in health as well as defend themselves if necessary.
Absolutely. Would you say that's the main principle that you try to reach through to all your
Instill
students?
in the children or adults?
Or adults.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, we've trained everybody from 4 years old to police, correction officers, SWAT team leaders, air marshals, correction officers, you name it. Secret Service, we've trained with Secret Service. We've trained with, you know, the most elite, as well as a young child that needs to learn some discipline in martial arts.
Right. So really all around the board, which is amazing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which
Correct.
is amazing. So you were bringing up how you trained in or brought in different forms of martial arts
Correct.
into your class. What other types of martial arts have you trained in? And you as well throughout the years also.
Sure, I've trained with people in Shotokan, Goju-Ryu, Ishinryu. I've trained with military. I've trained with Secret Service. I've trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've trained with UFC fighters where I was a sparring partner for people that made it into the UFC.
Yeah.
So that all well-rounded, incorporated, because not every art, you have to be able to be well-versed in whatever's coming at you, whether it's a wrestler, a boxer, a martial artist, just a street fighter, what have you.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to be more well-rounded for that and teach my students to be more well-rounded.
Yeah. It's like a Swiss Army knife in a sense like that.
I never thought of it that way,
like
but I
that.
will use that line in the future.
There you go.
Thank you,
Frank. What made you stick with this form of jiu-jitsu and then branch out into other parts for your own classes?
Well, that was my core.
That was the
That was the core,
learning.
and then I built around it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just love discipline, and I love that fact. And at the end of the day, I really love helping students.
Yes.
I mean, it's a passion. It's not a business to me. It's not a moneymaker business to me.
Right.
It's a passion that I have. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be training and teaching as long as I have.
Yeah. How long have you been teaching for now?
So I started martial arts in 1980. When I was in that school as a brown belt, I started teaching there. And then after my instructor passed away and we opened up in New Jersey, we just had our 25th year anniversary, January 19th.
Wow.
25
Well,
years
congratulations.
teaching in Monmouth and Middlesex County.
That's amazing. 25 years.
Mhm.
That's incredible. and still at that place in, I believe, Monroe. Is that correct?
Right, we're on
Yes.
33 in Applegarth Road.
Yes.
We were originally in Manalapan, and then
Right.
that gym went bankrupt, and then we went to another place, Pantry Plaza, and that burned down. There
Yes,
was a
I
fire
remember
in the
that
building.
too. Yes.
And then we found a space in Monroe, so right on 33 in Applegarth Road.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, so another question that I had for both of you, or one of you guys could explain this aspect of it. I've noticed, especially when I was training and seeing you with your belt on, there is like the red stripes on black belts and whatnot,
Yeah.
or even different forms of black belts where there's another stripe in the middle. Could you, and I never understood it, would you be able to explain the different levels of black belt and where could you really reach up to until there's a cap, or is there even a cap for it?
Sure. So the cap would be 10th degree black belt,
10th degree.
which is
Okay.
considered a grandmaster.
Yeah.
When you get a black belt, your first degree black belt is one red stripe.
Mhm.
Second degree in our system, in the traditional Japanese, is a second stripe. Third degree is a third stripe. Then fourth degree, you have a belt that's white on the top and red on the bottom.
Okay.
And then going to fifth degree, red goes on the top and white goes on the bottom. And Mark just recently got promoted to fifth degree black belt.
Congratulations for that too. That's
So his
awesome.
stripe is red on the top. Then after fifth degree black belt, then sixth is a black belt with a red stripe going along the middle. Then seventh, it gets a little wider along the middle, the red stripe. And then eighth is a little wider, ninth a little wider, and then 10th degree is all red. So even though it's
Oh,
called
okay.
a black belt, the whole belt is red in our traditional Japanese system.
Yes.
Having that said, my original instructor passed away. If you talk about the Japanese names, Mark is Renshi, which is Renshi Mark means master instructor. So Mark's a master instructor.
Gotcha.
Then when you go to 6th and 7th, it's Shihan, which is also a master instructor, just with a little bit more experience. Then when you hit 8th degree black belt, which is what I am, it's Hanshi Mark. Hanshi means teacher of teachers, which means I can teach people to become teachers.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's Hanshi Mark. And everybody can be called sensei. Sensei in the Japanese world is teacher.
Yeah.
That's just a name that I could be called sensei, I could be called Hanshi.
Right.
Now, my issue is that my instructors are no longer around, so I don't have anybody to promote me. And in traditional Japan, I'm not going to get promoted by somebody from outside our system. I'd rather end my martial arts as an 8th degree black belt than be getting a higher rank from somebody else that didn't teach me.
Okay. I
So-
like that a lot though
Lot of
too.
honor there.
It's a lot of honor and loyalty and I love that actually. And of course if people did want to, like that's at the level that you're at and did want to progress, then good for them. If they wanted to, go ahead. But I love the principle and loyalty of it and honor of that, to be honest with you.
I've turned down higher
Oh,
ranks.
have you?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I can't accept something from somebody that didn't teach me.
Yeah.
That means they're higher than me, but you never taught me, so how could you?
How could you even
But
know? Or
that's
like,
part of the perverted part of the martial arts in the United States, the business end.
yes.
Because
Okay.
people want to say they're a 10th degree black belt, they want to say this, they want to say that, and there's unfortunately not a standard across the country in the U.S., and there's some variations of levels. What somebody in an 8th degree black belt in one school could be totally different than, or system could be different than somebody else that's an 8th degree black belt. Just like him as a 5th degree black belt, I'd put him up against anybody. Anybody.
What would you, in your mind and in your process of deciding when someone could move up, not even just a black belt rank, but even white to yellow belt, what is the process for you in deciding, okay, it's time, it is time for them to get an advanced belt, like the next advancement?
I mean, I know what you're about to just say, so I might as well say it.
Go
Time on
ahead.
the mat. It's about time on the mat. It's about putting in the hours. It's about putting in the blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
into your craft. to become something. It's like, you go into the gym, you work out once a week, once every other week. Are you going to get ripped and big?
No.
Do it 5 times a week. You train, you diet, you do consistency. I mean, I didn't get promoted since 2017, and I just got promoted, a month ago.
Right.
So it took a long time because I'm at a black belt level. It takes a longer duration to go from one degree to the next.
Right.
But it's all about putting in the time, putting in the effort, and really making that commitment to the martial arts.
Yeah.
And there's no standard in that. So a lot of schools, what they do is they promote every 3 months or every 6 months because they charge fees.
Right.
Right? Because they make a business of the martial arts.
Yeah.
We don't run it that way. We do not take any fees for promotions, testings of that nature. Now, when people get tested and they have to pay a fee to their instructor, the instructor already knows.
Right.
He taught you.
Exactly.
If I don't know what each and every one of my students knows, it just doesn't relate. So if these schools are charging fees to test them, to get to the next level, really it's just a business.
Correct.
And we've never took the approach that this was a business.
Yeah.
Because it's a passion.
Yeah.
And we really want to pass down the traditions that we've taught and everything that we've learned so that we can make our students better than they were.
Yes. And we went to a different school, and I don't want to drop the name or anything like that, but like we, at the end of the day, moved over to you guys. And I'll tell you what, my parents loved how the class was formatted, your mentality towards the class, and that's why we stuck around for a decent amount of time. And just the difference between the karate school that we were at before and to when we were with you guys were the real deal. You guys were the real deal because of the reason. And I've heard my dad say it too before, and it always stuck in my head. This is a while ago, that it's not treated as a business, and they really progress you and really make you work for it. And like you said, the blood, sweat, and tears.
Absolutely.
The blood, sweat, and tears. And that's what I always appreciated, too. I didn't realize it back in the day when I was younger.
Sure.
But now I 100% do.
Yeah.
And that's incredible. I think that's what makes your classes, your space of teaching so special. Seriously.
Well, the good news is you're more than welcome to come back.
Well, it's funny you brought that up because, So I have had other MMA fighters to interview on the podcast and whatnot, and I always bring up you guys. Was like, I used to train and do this stuff just like you guys are now, and you guys, like everyone I talk to on the podcast, they always motivate me to get back into it, and I want to get back into it, seriously. I felt like I was in the best of shape back in the day with training with you guys. I played mostly all rec sports, but for schools I didn't really like play anything. Like the martial arts were my thing. It wasn't school sports or anything like that. That was my way of staying fit, active, mentally and physically. And it's something I would love to get back into.
I mean, like I said before, I miss sparring you. So just
Yeah.
get on the mat, bow in, and let's go.
I'm. You know what?
The hardest part is just
Like,
walking in
let's
the
just
door.
go.
100%. 100%.
And you're gonna feel so
Just
much
walk
better
in.
after that too. You're gonna every like Saturday morning. Like it's very it's difficult to work out during the week because I'm just working very long hours. But I go every single Saturday morning, and after that workout and after that class, I feel amazing. It's like euphoria. It's just an absolute amazing adrenaline rush. And then I tackle the rest of my work day because I work on Saturdays too.
Yes.
And I just feel incredible. So
once it gets your mind going, it almost doesn't stop for the rest of the day.
absolutely, it's like my like my cup of coffee.
Right.
Essentially,
And I remember going to the Saturday classes too, and I feel like it's one of the best sessions to have is in the morning like that.
Yep.
Is because it really just gets your body going, the blood going and everything like that.
Sure.
And it's in the morning. So
And the
you're
mind.
done with that.
Yeah.
You got the rest of your day to be productive, do what you had to take care of, and this and so forth, you know?
Absolutely.
It gets the mind going also.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Excuse me.
So for myself to know now too, and kind of refresh my memory, I don't know if your guys' class schedule is the same as it used to be, or if it's changed in any sort of variation. When do you hold classes? Because I would love to know if you know, I want to get back into it, and for the viewers as well.
Sure. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yes.
Saturday, 8 in the morning.
Saturdays, 8 in the morning. Saturdays, 8 in the morning, I'll tell you, I won't be able to do, unfortunately, because of work.
Yeah,
I work
understood.
mainly every Saturday.
That's fair.
But
That was a good excuse.
yeah.
Already working excuses.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday I can, and Wednesday I can. But other than that, I'm free.
All right, then if you come during the week, then I'll tell my appointments to push off.
You'll make a
maybe.
concession to
I'll
show
make-
Uncle Frank?
I will
Whoa.
show up. If you tell me Tuesday or Wednesday, I will 100% be there.
I'll tell you right now, it'll be a Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll just say that right now.
I'm there every Tuesday,
Okay.
without a doubt.
You just tell me.
Yes. All right.
I'll
will.
literally tell all my appointments that I have that day or that night.
Yeah.
I'll tell them that I can't speak with them until either I come back or the next following day.
All right.
Shake on
Shaking
it. It's
We're
on
shaking
camera
on it.
so everyone sees.
Yeah, that's absolutely
All
right.
Awesome.
We're gonna get that in the works like tomorrow and maybe
Right.
even next week. The thing is, I don't have my gi anymore, so
Don't
what
worry
would I?
about it.
Yeah,
Just
so what
come
would
in
I?
with a pair of sweats and we'll get
Sweats
it figured
and-
out.
All right, sounds
Yeah,
good.
you're good.
That's
Sounds
easy.
good. Yeah. All right, this is
Yeah.
exciting too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Back to some of the questioning here. Wow, that gets me so
Yeah,
excited.
no,
actually,
bro. We're about to
that's
get a little
awesome.
sparring match next week.
Yes, next week. Let's do it.
It's on camera, so it's happening.
Let's do it
All right.
next week. All right,
See,
sounds
see what we
good.
did?
Yeah. All right.
What's up?
Sensei Mark, question
Yes.
for you. You've trained for so long. When was the first year that you opened up your own dojo? Did you answer that already before?
25 years ago.
It was 25 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very good. All right.
That I was the owner.
That you are the owner
Yes.
of the spot. Has anything changed besides the dojo itself, as far as like the mats and everything like that? Like, how did you formulate how you wanted your dojo space to look like, the atmosphere that you wanted to have to get your students like in the zone for it?
So my focus is more on the teaching and the
Yeah.
training. So I actively train and I actively teach.
Yeah.
So that's more important because I don't care if I'm on carpet or mats, a gorgeous dojo, an old rundown location.
Yeah,
It's the training.
it's the training.
We obviously have a fairly nice location. We have
Agreed.
3,000 square feet.
Yeah.
We have nice mats, and we have what it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, congratulations again on
Thank you.
on advancing to a 5th degree
Yeah.
black belt.
5th degree.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was not expecting it that day. And it was like crazy because that day, it was the first week. It was like the weekend that my girlfriend was going to meet my parents.
Okay.
So the first time that she meets my dad was in a gi, Saturday morning. And I got promoted that day. So it was like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
And it was not on the agenda, but you remember Brennan? Do you remember
Brennan.
Glenn?
Sheon
Sheon
Brennan.
Brennan. And,
Yes,
Sheon
yes,
Glenn?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they pretty much were just like, yeah, we gotta like talk to my dad while I was teaching and showing
And
techniques.
Hachi Bob.
And Hachi
Remember
Bob.
Hachi Bob McCarry?
I
Hachi
believe
Bob.
the name is
Tall,
familiar.
6
Yeah,
foot.
yes. Okay.
Great kicks. Great side
Yeah, yeah.
kicks. Yeah,
I
roundhouse
do.
kicks, yeah. Remember, like, geez, PTSD.
Yeah.
So they came up to my dad and were like, yeah, it's time to promote him. That's from what my dad told me. And it was like the last 5 minutes of class. They were like talking about me in such a good light. And I'm like, what is going on? And then it just kind of clicked. Like, I think I'm getting promoted. And next thing I know, they kneeled me down. And like my father was saying, with the white belt on top, the red belt on the bottom, we just had to flip the belt. So the red is now on the top. Yeah. So, and they didn't have a certificate. Like, it was so unplanned. But it was absolutely perfect. And like I said, the perfect storm for my girlfriend to see.
Absolutely.
What I'm made of, and a
Well-
promotion like that in that stance is just such a huge moment in my life.
Huge moment. I think an amazing achievement. Not that I think I know it. It's an amazing achievement because, like you said before, the last time you were promoted was 2017. 2017.
Yeah, it's
2017.
been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Now, are you at a level where, comfortably wise and allowed wise to teach students as well?
Yeah, so I've been teaching students, like, even when I was like a kid, and I was maybe a purple or a brown belt, I would stay after the class and kind of show them stuff. But really, at like age 16, when I got my black belt, which took me a decade to get, it took me 10 full years, I was starting to teach more. Now, I've been like consistently teaching every single Saturday for many years, being that I'm a black belt. So we kind of like rotate. Like when we're in the dojo, it's my father doing one thing, and then he'll pass it off to me, and then I'll pass it off to Glenn or Brennan or Bob. And it's just like a really good camaraderie because everybody in the dojo has their own bread and butter, has their own way of doing techniques or showing something.
Yeah.
So it's just like the perfect puzzle, for all of our students to kind of really open up their minds and eyes to different styles that we all do.
Absolutely. So you're saying you're there every Saturday morning to
every
teach?
Saturday. So I train 8 to 9:15. Or 8 to 9:30 the first class, and then the second class I teach that as well, the younger students. But the first class, like, I participate, but I'm also teaching and instructing as well. So I'm more of taking on the instructor role rather than when I was on the line and I was showing things. I will show it up front. So people can look at me like a guide, in a sense.
And how was that transition into just training to also teaching now, too? Was that an exciting thing for you?
Because, like, when you teach something, it's different if you know how to throw a punch. It's different if you can teach someone how to throw a punch.
Sure.
So I learned a lot in the martial arts because I learned from my students, and I learned different ways of articulating on how to do certain techniques, and it makes me a better martial artist.
Yes.
Like, just taking it from insurance, like, I've mentored, rookie agents and showing them the ropes and showing them how to do something or best practices to make them a better insurance professional. And when I show them that, it gives me even better ideas and gives me ways, to make them better, which makes me better in turn. So I love teaching. I think it's just a blessing to see, our students get better from the work that we instill in them and the best practices moving forward.
Absolutely. And it's almost like you're almost teaching yourself how to teach others, seeing what works and doesn't work. In the insurance field, in the dojo, things of that nature.
It's like commanding a room. So like we did this exercise last Saturday where we had like the younger students go in front of the dojo and do some stretches, and you could see some of the students were very quiet and weren't really commanding the room while others were. And I feel like I wasn't always been able to command a room like that. I mean, it's very nerve-wracking. You get stage fright. But now I go there and it's different. It's just a whole lot different because I've practiced it.
Yeah.
And what I've practiced by teaching in the martial arts has made me command rooms in the business field when I'm in front of 50 people and talking about insurance and talking about what I do for a living and how I could benefit them, their clients, or themselves individually. So I just, martial arts, like my father said, it is not just martial arts. It is a lifestyle which we take on with multiple different sections and sectors of our lives.
Absolutely. We're going to get into the business side of things in just a second. I would like to end it, the martial arts side of it, end it with this question. As far as, one, do you see yourself taking over the dojo once you want to hang up the gi, basically?
That is something that I've actually thought about. I've thought about, ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's
almost
something that I
on
would
the
have
legacy.
to be like logistically on ways to figure out because I work 12-hour days Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Feel that.
Like, I usually work from typically around 7:30 to 8:30 at night.
Yeah.
With a nice little 45-minute lunch break.
Sure.
And it's a grind. And obviously I'm trying to build an empire, so it's like it's very tough to get there during the week. I'm there every Saturday, but then I think to myself, well, what's going to happen if once my father kind of throws in the towel and gets to that certain age, I couldn't see myself letting the dojo go regardless because I do love it. It is a part of me.
Absolutely.
It has instilled so many amazing qualities that I've grown and just became a better individual in every which way in my life. So that is something that I personally would need help. Like my father has help with Glenn and Bob, and then what's the next generation? So, I mean, I would love to. I love the dojo. I couldn't throw that away.
Yeah, I that's why I asked it, because I feel like you definitely couldn't.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think he wants to give it away just yet either. No. You might have to spar him.
You do this until he's in a walker and a cane. Like, he'll do it until he's 99 years old.
I'm not looking to throw in the towel.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's more than happy to run with it.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. It's just a matter of managing other instructors that are qualified to do what we've taught them to do and what they know. So we want to have that consistency for our students.
Yes.
Where a lot of dojos or schools have no consistency from instructor to instructor. We don't want that. We want that consistency. We feel very comfortable with our program and our instruction.
Yes.
So we wouldn't want to throw that out.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's one of the things that makes it so unique. Yeah. So I agree. Don't just throw that aspect of it out.
I'm not ready to throw in the towel, and Mark has been the one student that's had it the hardest because he was my son.
Exactly right.
It was he was treated the hardest.
Yeah. But
being treated so hard is what helped him become as good as he is, and if I say great, as he is, because of that. We were very hard, and the other instructors are always telling me, when are you going to promote him? When are you going to promote him? I'm like, never.
Yeah, right.
He's held up to a little bit of a higher standard.
Yes.
Because I want him to be able to teach as we taught.
Absolutely. Great way of putting it. Yeah. Let's pivot on over to the business aspect of things. Sure. We went into the karate mode at night. We're going to talk about the 12-hour shifts and everything like that, baby. We'll start with you as far as what you do with work.
Yeah.
If you want to explain to the viewers.
Am I looking at it? Like, I'm trying to figure out, do I look
at
you?
You could look at the camera, look at me. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're comfortable with, man.
So I work for the Comparion Insurance Agency, a Liberty Mutual company. So it's backed up by Liberty. I have over 20 insurance providers. So I do auto, I do homeowners, I do life insurance, I do pet, motorcycle, boat, small commercial, like restaurants and barbershops. But I have multiple carriers, so it's not just Liberty, which we ultimately lost access to Liberty, so I can't even write Liberty Mutual products anymore. But it's Travelers, it's Progressive, it's Plymouth Rock, it's Safeco. It's so many different options that I can cater to one's needs.
Yes.
The insurance market is as more complex than it's ever been. And, I've been in the business since I graduated. So for the past 6-7 years, there's people that have been there for 30, 40, 50 years, and they have never seen the insurance market as strict, as tough, and as complex. There's, insurance cancellations because of an insurance inspection, which they do after the home insurance is written. So they may cancel for a roof. They may cancel for excessive moss growth on the roof. If they have a missing handrail on the back rear of the house because it's a liability exposure and it's a hazard.
Right.
There's so many different things, and not one shoe fits all. So it's really indicating, okay, you have a 2,500 square foot property in Monroe. Your roof is 10 years old. Okay, this is going to be the best carrier to meet their underwriting guidelines. So that's a little bit about what I do, and I absolutely love it.
Well, I think it was a great way to explain it. To me, it sounds like you got the whole arsenal, like utility belt.
Yeah, I'm the one-stop shop.
Exactly.
If I had one carrier, I'd be screwed. I had to look at the camera.
Yeah,
I would be screwed, though. I would be screwed because it's a very, very tough spot. I mean, like, they're like Progressive, like they won't even insure properties that are built 2010 or newer.
Oh.
or 2010 and older, excuse me. So if you have a 2009 build, they won't even insure the property. It wasn't like that 3 months ago or 6 months ago. Sacher is another company that if you have a roof over 5 years old, they will not insure you. So it's very niche with what they're willing to take on. But having these options make it easier for myself, but also my customers. So like I shop out my customers' rates pretty, semi-annually or annually. They typically reach out to me just because my book of business is at X amount, so it's very difficult to manage every renewal. So they'll contact me. I'll give them updated rates. I'll provide them a better solution, save them X amount of money. And then, it's a win for me. It's a win for them. They're happy. They saved money. And then they tell their friends and family and go from there.
The references and spreading the word, too.
Yep.
How long have you been doing this? You said since you graduated college.
So I interned in 2017.
Yes.
When I was a junior in college. Senior year, December of 2018. Or December of 2017 when it was my senior year, I got the job. They gave me the job. They were like, yeah, you were good. You did very good on your internship, and we want to hire you.
Very nice.
And I wanted to do that. I mean, I didn't wake up one day saying I wanted to do insurance. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to do something more extravagant.
Yeah.
But I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the customer relationships and the business partner relationships that build my business. And
all about the connections.
Yeah, it's all about the connections. Yeah, and people who
Is like what you just said. Is that what gravitated you towards this business? Or
no? So I was just looking at internships.
Yeah.
And I wasn't the best at school. I was like a B average, on a good day. And I was just going for internships, and I got one with Aflac, and they hired me on the spot. And then my ex at the time, her mother was a senior branch manager of Liberty Mutual in Massachusetts. And she was like, you know what? I know somebody in Freehold. I can give you a connection. I walked in there. I was like, you know what? This is a better company just from what they can provide me and the growth that they can give me.
Sure.
So I went for it. I saw the potential that I can do.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to be that, but I also want to be like the top guy opposed to being average in this business and in this field. Did it happen year 1, year 2? Absolutely not. Yeah. I had to grind for my food, and I had to cold call a lot and knock on doors and meet people, and I was networking 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point that opposed to me calling, they call me, which has just kind of made my life a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
In that sense, because my name has been out there.
The reputation.
Yeah.
Well, because you have clients coming back, calling you instead of you calling them and whatnot, do you think that's a big factor of what differentiates you from, like, say, other companies like this?
I think what differentiates myself is that it's like you want to buy something for, buy a product or a service with someone that you can trust and that you like.
Yes.
I want to be likable. I want to be able to be trusted. I want to be on a level playing field with them and actually caring about the situation that they're in. When I have a first-time home buyer, like, oh my God, I have a million things. I got to send this and that to a mortgage lender. I have to do it in home inspection. I have to send over these documents to XYZ. And then the insurance, they're like, their head's about to explode. And I try to make it as simple and easy and seamless and smooth as possible.
Yes.
Without them having to worry. Like, they call me up, 5-minute conversation, I take down the personal info, I do my due diligence, and when I call them, I have the quotes, the pricing, and what's expected for them for closing right then and there in that conversation. And they don't have to worry about calling each and every insurance company because I have most of them. I think that's what differentiates me. I think what differentiates myself is I also give them my cell phone number. I'm available 7 days a week. It's a blessing and a curse because sometimes they'll call me at 12 o'clock at night and I'm just trying to get a nice sleep in. But that's really what differs me from my competition. That's 100%.
Absolutely. And for you, something like an instance like that, it's just all part of it. And you're happy to do it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Very nice. Other Mark? Sensei Mark? Would you like to explain your side of business as well?
Sure, I'm a realtor.
Very nice. Okay.
The first aspect for me is there's nothing better than finding a home for a family, a couple, a single guy, single woman, finding a place that they love,
Yeah.
and walking them through the process to become homeowners, as opposed to living with mom and dad or becoming tenants.
Right.
Okay. I handle a lot of different aspects of real estate, whether it's land for builders so that they can do new construction, whether it's investors investing in real estate, rental properties, things like that, people that renovate homes. I do not like to use the word flip because flip to me waters it down, usually not such a great thing. I have investors that renovate homes. I renovate homes myself, buy, renovate, and sell. Also with my team, Mark part of that. Also, when it comes to Airbnbs, I sold an Airbnb not too long ago in Point Pleasant. That was a wonderful situation for my investor client.
Okay.
So all aspects of real estate is what I do.
Very nice. Now, I'll specify certain things of what you just said
Sure,
there. So
sure.
let's start off with the Airbnb aspect of it. That became a
Very
huge,
popular.
yeah, very popular thing. Have you tried to dive deep more into the Airbnb realm of things because of its popularity?
So when the opportunity arises, I seize that opportunity.
Yeah.
So just one in particular was in Point Pleasant, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Purchased the property for $1.5 million. The property brings in approximately $145,000 a year in rental income, and it worked out great for my client. And if my client's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's that with the Airbnbs.
The feeling that you get is probably amazing when you see how your clients are feeling becoming a first-time homeowner and everything like that. And like you said too, I'm sure the process for you in showing them the ropes of it, well, not showing them the ropes of it, more like showing them the process of how things are going to be done.
Absolutely.
Is probably so satisfying to you and probably makes your clients very comfortable as well with you also. It's something that always interested me. I'm not gonna say the word flip. I'll say renovating homes. It always like interests me, especially my father's involved with stuff like that too. What do you think is, or what would you say was the first process for you in buying your first property to renovate? What got you going at first? What motivated you to start doing that?
Sure. So, well, the first property I bought, the day I graduated college is the day I purchased a two-family.
Oh, okay.
So while I was going to college full-time, I was working full-time. My first two-family home was $152,500. That home is probably worth $1.25 million right now. So my grandfather was a real estate broker, and we were having a get-together at the house, at the family, because I graduated college, just the family, get-together. And my grandfather negotiated the deal, and that was my first purchase. And it was a two-family, and loved every minute of it. So that was where I got my start in real estate.
Yeah.
Then I was buying properties for myself to live in, my family, where Mark's been, and so forth. And then buying properties for rental. I have rental properties in New York, rental properties in New Jersey, things of that nature. And then as far as the renovating part, I find that exciting, buying a home that is just dilapidated and needs all kinds of work, and you revitalize that home, and now a family's living in that home with basically 100% renovated home. So it's a really awesome thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's an awesome feeling just seeing the finished product of a fully renovated home, because you know what it looked like beforehand, and to see what it has become, and people wanting to buy it.
Sure.
Afterwards. I'm sure it's an amazing feeling.
Typical before and after pictures
Right.
are in order for something like that.
Absolutely. Now, as far as promotion for both of you, now I see on your social media, especially on Instagram, you have your client reviews, which I'm assuming is like on Google.
Yeah, Google
reviews.
reviews,
How much of a help has that been for you as far as reaching new clients? And how is promotion in general for you? Is it an important part for you?
Yeah, so it's Google reviews. I feel like are very important. I mean, it builds your brand presence and about what you're able to do. So right now I'm at 240 5-star Google reviews that I've received within the last few years. I started my Google review account about 2 years ago. So it's been like within the past 2 years. And it's just been kind of blowing up that way. People have been able to just like, type in Google, New Jersey freehold, any type of New Jersey local insurance agent, and my name will typically pop up because I have a lot of Google reviews, which has given me some clients, and I've been able to help them just from them looking me up.
Absolutely.
So, I think a brand presence in social media is very important.
Yeah.
I show it on Instagram very much. All my reviews are on there, and I have a highlight reel, so anybody that looks on my Instagram, you can click request quote, pull right into my website, and then they could request any type of product and service that they're looking for when it comes to insurance.
Yes.
And then they could also look at my reviews and what I'm about, and these are all testimonials from clients that I have helped and serviced and saved money and showed them the easy side of insurance and, what it takes to really put the client first.
Absolutely. How about you? What's your idea as far as the promotions on Google and whatnot?
So with real estate, Zillow is the gorilla, the 500-pound gorilla in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look up my Zillow reviews, they're all, the top you can get is a 5-star Zillow review, and then the verbiage of what the clients say to you about you.
Yeah.
So all of mine are 5-star reviews. And that's just being able to walk somebody from the process of starting to look for homes, to figure it out, financing, insurance, coordinating attorneys, coordinating title companies, closing the property, making it as seamless as possible for the client so that they don't get hit with unexpected things, because the fear of the unknown is always the worst thing.
Absolutely.
So Zillow for me is preeminent, a Zillow review. And as far as social media, I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and also with LinkedIn. So I use those three, services for my social media.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because if you're out of sight, out of mind, people forget you.
Sure.
And there isn't anybody that I'm connected to that doesn't know I can help them with a condo, a townhome, a home in Princeton, a home in Somerset. You want a place in Monmouth, in Manalapan, or Freehold. You want a place in Point Pleasant or down by Long Beach Island. I can find you a home.
Yeah.
I can get a home that makes sense to you.
Awesome. I think social media should be used as a tool for most people.
Absolutely.
No matter what field of business you're in.
Totally agree.
I think a lot of people don't utilize it like that. It's more, and which is okay too, more for memorabilia purposes with pictures and everything like that. But I think more people need to utilize with their own business, and I think most people are nowadays. Let's be real with it. But it should be utilized to the full extent of the power of promotion.
Yeah.
Promotion. I think it's a huge thing, a huge tool. And I think it's helped out a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think it's helped out a lot of people. Now, I don't know how you both feel about the TikTok realm of things, but like businesses on there have strived on there as well too. Like I feel like you would be able to have a sick video with drone shots of a house, like a before and after thing, like you brought up before and after pictures. I think sick stuff could be made on both your realms of business.
What did you think about the ban? Remember with TikTok ban, they completely shut it down, and then they brought it back.
After I think it was 8 hours, something like that.
It was insane.
I go into these rabbit holes on TikTok from time to time when I'm bored or not working. I can't stand it most of the time when that happens. Yeah. So I was actually happy that it was going away. They
brought it right back.
And they brought it right back, which I kind of knew it was going to happen anyway. I mean, the only videos I post on TikTok are the podcast clips and everything like that. In that sense, I use it as really just a tool, and then I'll just scroll from time to time on there. I think it's all right. It's helped out a lot of people as far as business-wise. That's why I brought it up before. But It's all right.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on
Let me
it.
ask
If it
you.
went, it went.
Let me ask you, do you think I should be on TikTok? Because I don't even have a TikTok account.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a function of my age. I do Facebook and I do Instagram and I do LinkedIn, but I don't do and I would be more than happy to learn.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep growing, right? You don't want to stay stagnant.
Absolutely.
Whatever it is. But I don't look at TikTok. I don't have anything to do with TikTok.
Yeah.
I thought the other media was enough.
Well, I'm not saying it's not enough. I think you're utilizing them very well, and it's been working for you very well.
It has.
And, I would say that TikTok, it could benefit even more for you.
Just another avenue.
Just another avenue. That's all it really is. And the thing with TikTok is that there are some book nerds will call it book talk, all videos about book suggestions and everything like that. Then there's probably realtor talk. There's
Sure.
all different trends and categories of the app that if someone just says hashtag home renovation, you could be one of those first videos that pop up, have a nice edit of a before and after of say a kitchen with a nice island on there and stuff like that. And you just never know. That's the biggest thing. You just
Right.
never know on an app like that. Yeah. You could blow up in a day. It could take 5 years or maybe even longer. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
I don't mind the grind.
Oh yeah, right.
I
don't
want to
either.
put
Yeah.
my effort where it should go.
Okay, so in that sense, I say just try it out. And if it
Okay.
doesn't, if you feel like you spent enough time on there and it's just been whatever, then stick with what you know.
Sure.
Okay. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's what I say with it.
Thank you.
Now, you guys have both brought up things very similar with your businesses with each other and how they could almost work together in a sense. My question for you guys is, have you ever partnered on any sort of project as far as you selling a house and you bringing in the insurance firm to those same clients?
Every single one.
Every single one.
Everyone.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
so
nice.
He's my go-to insurance
Yeah, it's
agent.
pretty
Beautiful.
It's pretty cool. Like I said, I mean, the relationship that I have with my father is very unique because not only is my dad, he's also my sensei that I've learned so much from, and also on deals with for a buyer that's buying a house, and I do the insurance, and we have the same client, and we both close them.
Yeah.
It's just pretty awesome that we have all of this. It really is
awesome.
incredible in my opinion.
I think it's
to
incredible
have
too.
that with my father, and there's some people that, I'm not saying everybody, but there's some people that can't stand their dad or this and that,
Yeah.
but I love my father. He's my best friend, and we have a really awesome relationship, and we're able to do business and make money together, which is also another amazing thing as well.
Well, I could very much tell that your relationship with each other is very, very strong. The fact that you guys are best friends and you guys train together and business partners together is actually, I think, a rare thing. Yeah. I think it's a rare thing, especially when you're two people in two different fields that correlate with each other. It's a great utilization of both your skill sets and everything like that.
I'm very fortunate and lucky.
Yeah,
absolutely, and good for both of you with that. I'm gonna close it up soon with this pod. I would like to close it up with one question. If I think of any others, I'll say them out. Where do you see yourself, or what are some future goals for you in your business in, say, the next 5 years? Do you have one in mind, or is it just all about just progressing and expanding?
I mean, I recently kind of hit my goals that I've wanted. I've hit President's Club, which is the most prestigious award in my company. Now twice in a row, 2 years in a row.
Very good.
Yeah, so I'm going to Bahamas this year, which I'm very excited about.
When are you going?
June
Okay,
18th
we're
to the 22nd.
We're going in
I'm excited.
late April.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That would have been awesome too.
Yeah, that would have been crazy if I saw you, bro.
Yeah.
And then also having assistants that work with me. And I was able to get to this level of production where my company pays for them. And anything that they sell, because I'm in sales, anything that they sell is essentially money in my pocket.
Yeah.
But I've built a team of now Brianna and William, who we're like a family, and like what we have is absolutely incredible. I mean, like these two individuals, I truly love going to work. I love seeing them. I love seeing them grow.
Yeah.
They're amazing, amazing, amazing people, and having myself that I've gotten to this level to build a team with two amazing people that do very well. It is what I've always wanted, and I've gotten to that point. I think that anything moving forward is hitting more recognition events, as well as building my team more and more. I mean, there's one rep, I forgot where she's at, but she's killing it. She has like 8 assistants.
Wow.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So I want to keep building, have 3, have 4, have 5, have 6, have 7, and just keep on building up the chain. That's my goal.
Very nice. Well, what would you say some of your future endeavors are for, say, the next 5 years or so?
Sure. So I have my life down to 4 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
Family, friends, sellers, buyers. I could put everything under one of those pillars. So martial arts would be friends and family.
Yes.
But being with buyers and sellers, I love the grind. I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning. I'm out. I go until late at night. I love what I do. I love helping people, whether it's in the martial arts or for homes.
Yeah.
It's so gratifying to put a black belt on somebody, or a yellow belt, or a green belt. It's so gratifying. It's so gratifying that when people close on a home and they're calling me or texting me or sending me pictures after they just moved in and how excited they are, that thrill of their first condo, first home, second home, third home, vacation home, rental property, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just so excited, and I was able to effectuate that.
Yeah.
And have that happen. And there might have been 3 months ago that person didn't even think they could buy a home, or they didn't think they could buy a rental property or get into renovating a home.
Yes.
And having clients, I have one client that they've purchased 16 homes.
Wow.
I've helped them navigate 16 homes where they renovated all 16.
Wow.
So I've helped them purchase it.
Yes.
They renovate, then I sold it for them, as well as us renovating homes and purchasing and renovating. So I love the thrill. I love the thrill. It's the journey.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of that journey. Financial success is just kind of the sidebar.
Sure.
It really is the sidebar. It'll happen. The financial success happens if you put in the work and do the job right.
Absolutely. Effectively, truthfully, I feel, and the passion for it too. I think it's all very important.
Morally, ethically,
every
day
like
of the week.
Yes.
Every day.
You know, one of the other things that I thought of before that I would like to bring up now is that I'm sure for a client to see both of you working together on, say, their future home, it has to give them a very comfortable feeling too, as far as like, all right, these two obviously know each other very well and work well with each other. Like, it has to give them a very a sense of comfort and trust.
Absolutely, yeah, peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind, absolutely.
But it gives me peace of mind that he's on the other side of the transaction.
Well, it works for your ends of it too.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The trust and the connection, I think, is so strong, and it could only lead to success, I feel like. So congratulations to both of you there.
Thank you.
If you'd like, and talk to the camera, would you like to tell them where they could find you on social media, possible websites, Google reviews, anything of that nature?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, just Mark Caravaglio, so MarkCaravaglio. I'm also on LinkedIn. You can just type in my name on Google. I'll be the first account that's going to pull up on Google regarding my website, the products and services that I provide. So feel free to hit me up. Always there to help. Thank you.
Very nice. Sensei Mark, where could they find you on there?
If they pull up his information,
you're right there too.
Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Mark Caravaglio, you'll find us.
Very nice. And all that is going to be showing up on screen while they say that, and also in the link, there'll be links of all their Google sites and social media all in the description below. So if you're interested in buying a home, renting a home, or anything else in the insurance field as well, you know who to go to because you got a very trustworthy team here. For both of you, I want to thank you so much for doing this, and it was amazing to see both of you.
Yeah, this was incredible.
This was great, and I'm going to be there.
You better be
on
there.
Tuesday.
You gotta text me. Let me know,
gonna text
and
you.
I'm there.
Yes, absolutely. You're gonna have to remind me of the time, and then I'll
100%.
I'll even come straight from work. I'll bring a change of clothes with me if I'm running.
Just bring
late.
yourself, man.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
yeah, exactly. All right, I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it. Man.
I'm excited, man.
100%.
All right.
Congratulations on your success doing the podcast.
Oh yes, thank you.
We
I
want to see
appreciate
you
it.
explode.
Absolutely.
And if there's anything we could do to help you get to what your goals are in the next 5 years, just ask us, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
Well, without a doubt. I mean, as far as finding my own place and everything like that, that's like I want that to be in the near future. So I know who I'm hitting up too, as far as that that as well.
But I'm talking about your podcast also.
Oh, the podcast too.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
absolutely.
want your podcast to, explode.
Absolutely.
We want you to have all the success that you want, and if you do things right and you do things properly, you'll have that success also.
Well, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. And I think you're helping out here with a great episode right now, and for future things too. I'll keep you guys in contact. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could share your podcast.
Absolutely, awesome.
I know how to hit share.
He doesn't. He just asks me, and I gotta do it for him.
Yeah, okay.
All right, guys. If you guys enjoyed this episode, like they just said, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Loggin On. And with that said, we hope you have a wonderful night. But until next time, peace out.
Start of it all, if you're going into anything creative,
Yes.
expecting like success and profit, quit, because that's just not what this is. Like it does come, it happens, and
Just not right away at all.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Again, I know so many artists who are super famous.
Yeah.
Who are not struggling, but are still trying to make it out.
Yes.
Big artists that you wouldn't believe.
Right.
And it's a tough, thing. I'd say the biggest thing is you gotta just love it,
Yeah.
Like I music again was something so to the core with me. Like even if I never made it, or even I don't make it even bigger than what I am right now,
Sure.
Because I wouldn't say I made it, but if I never hit that next level, I'm so happy with just music, I love it,
You have to love it.
So that's where it comes down to. Like if you're doing it for the sake of like I just want to be successful, go to school.